some people are going to be like, oh, I have the phone right here. I've had it for 3 weeks. I'm not one of those people. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Shaman J. So it is time to talk about probably which is going to be one of the best budget phones on the market. And when I use the terminology budget, I'm just talking about price. It's going to be one of the best lower costing devices on the market, in my opinion. The only way Google can screw this up is to bring this phone out for $500. That's the only thing I could think of. The internals on there, and at this point, just treat it like a rumor. Most of the stuff that I'm saying, it's not official yet. At the recording of this video was recorded on August 1st, late in the evening, or August 2nd, let's just say. The Pixel line is a line that, people love to try to crack at Google for certain things, but reality is they set the standard for Android devices for me, because as far as what I would want in a device and how an actual Android device should be. If you really want to experience Android, you have to get a Google device or Android One or something, a device with stock Android with just Google, no other additives or preservatives, nothing in the software, just stock Android from Google. And a lot of people don't like to do that because they think that it's boring. And I understand that, but I say that Google is gonna set the stage for what they're planning on offering in the coming years. I think that they've learned the lesson about pricing phones really high with no SD card and then low memory options. That was kind of strange for them to do that, but you got to take a stab at what's going on in the market, and they figured, well, we can sell high priced phones with no memory options just like everybody else can, and they found out that they pretty much could not. But when they brought out the 3A line, they shut it down to me. The 3A line is the best lineup for Google which they have ever offered. It's low in cost and it's powerful, and performance is great on those. So if you have a 3A or you've never experienced a 3A, you're missing out if you want a real Android device. No shade towards any other Android device and OEMs that bring out phones, but I feel like to get a true Android experience, you have to start with Google's devices. And I've always felt like that. So the 4A is going to come. Now these rumor specs, Snapdragon 730G, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, none of which are officially confirmed by Google. Yes, I know sometimes when leaks come out, they're pretty accurate, but I still like the element of surprise sometimes when it comes to a device. I want to be pumped and excited about something. So I feel like once this device drops, people already want this device. People are comparing it to the iPhone SE, saying they're doing it because of Apple. I just think Google's releasing a device that they know can sell. There's no reason why this phone should not sell, because it's going to have the best cameras on the market. Google's cameras are the best, or we wouldn't have like Gcam. Everybody always brings up cameras. They always bring up Google's devices. They have proven the fact that they know how to make devices that can take some of the best photos, and that's just a fact. I'm really hoping that they step up their video game, because their video game now on smartphones has gotten, with the Pixel 4 that is, the Pixel 4 and 4 XL have great video cameras, and if you just never use them, they're great. But I'm hoping that the 4A, and supposedly there's no XL, but we don't know what companies will do until it's official. So shout out to my Team Pixel family. If you're a true Android enthusiast and you really like Android, how could you not like a Google device? Yeah, I know Google stepped away from the Nexus line and they jacked the prices up for a little bit, but I would hope and pray that they definitely bring this device out at this rumor price of $349. And I really don't think it has anything to do with any other OEM. I think they're looking at the 3A line and saying, we got to stay in this area. And especially if they're not bringing out more than one device, as the rumors say, they got to price it right, Now, I also saw a little thing where there actually is going to be a 5G version for $500, but I don't know. Again, all of this is just rumor mill, so treat it like such. But in the end, and at the end of the day, a lot of you guys are excited for the Pixel, whether you want to admit it or not. If in fact Google does drop this phone for $350 and then a 256 gig for 400, that would just be incredible. But if they don't, and they come out with a 64 gig for 350 and 128 gig for $50 more, it's still a better offering as a package than some others. Now, the one thing I will be concerned about is that, not that the 730G is a bad processor. I would just be like, well, why wouldn't they go with the 765? But you don't need to, you know what I mean? So I think that at the end of the day, it's really up to the consumers who are buying these devices, not us tech reviewers. The consumers get the final nail in the coffin, if you will. And I feel like the real test is when the products hit the market and it gets into consumers' hands, and then we see what the phones are all about. And I think that's when they prove themselves with the 3A line. The 4 is a fantastic lineup, but it was just priced too high. No getting around it. It was priced too high, and people didn't like that price. And now that they have a chance to fully redeem themselves as being Android kings, and at the top of the food chain, they can move up even with a lower cost device. The 4A, if that's what it's called, this should take them over the top. I think the 4A is going to be a pretty nice device, man. I mean, even if the specs are not the 765, I don't even care, because I know that the software, the way it ran on the 670, was beast mode. So shout out to Team Pixel, and keep your goodies on deck. Yeah, I think that this is going to be a hit. I think Google is going to knock this out the park, and I think that plenty of people out there are going to buy the 4A, if that's what it's called, and consumers aren't going to be looking at tech specs. Only us tech heads are going to be doing that. So what do you guys think about the rumors? Because at the recording of this video, it's still just a rumor. They could drop a bomb and be like, oh, we're not releasing anything to October, or we're not releasing anything at all. I don't know. Some people are going to be like, oh, I have the phone right here. I've had it for 3 weeks. I'm not one of those people. But nonetheless, I really feel like Google is going to smash this one just like they did the 3A. How do you feel about Google's approach this time to Android and shying away from and steering clear of the flagship territory with the price and the internals and all that stuff? Because honestly, if a Snapdragon 865 was in this device, it would be considered a flagship. 60 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. I mean, people would put it in the flagship category. That's what they would do. Or they would try to keep it in the budget range because of the price, but I say it's a flagship. There are plenty of phones out there that don't cost a lot that are flagships, whether people want to admit it or not. So it's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. Team Pixel, stand up. Where you at? Put your brim on if you got one. You already know what it is. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.